is not surprising, but it's certainly dumb. Whoever believed the Teals knew anything or have read anything about public policy, forget it. By now, of course, the wealthy greenies who voted Teal on May 21 are back from their beachside Greek and Italian holidays, but the mob they voted for, the Teal independents, seem totally unaware of what's happening in Europe at the moment. The so-called independent member for North Sydney, Kylie Tink, is a standout example. Last week, Tink said, quote, "We must keep up with the pace set by the Europeans," unquote, when it comes to transitioning to net zero and renewable energy. Instead, Tink should have said, "We must keep up with the destructive pace set by the Europeans," unquote. The numbers prove my point. In Spain, a country that shut down almost all of its coal-fired power plants, all public buildings, shopping centres, cinemas, theatres, rail stations and airports are being forced to limit heating to a peak of 19 degrees centigrade and air conditioning to a low of 27. In Italy, an ice cream maker displayed on social media an electricity bill from July last year for about 2,000 Australian dollars. His latest July bill was 7,500, even though he used less power this year than he did in 2021. In the Baltic states, a 10-minute hot shower will cost you, by one estimate, about $35. According to Bloomberg, quote, "Power for delivery from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Wednesday in Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania jumped as high as €4,000. That is $5,800 a megawatt hour. That is a whopping rise of over 1,000% in a year." Meanwhile, the largest candle maker in Scandinavia and the Baltics, Estonia's Hansa Candle AS, has had to cease operations due to high energy prices. And the European people are well aware of what's about to hit them as winter approaches. One senior executive of a company which makes silicon parts for the auto, aerospace and appliance industries was quoted as saying, "Energy inflation is way more dramatic here than elsewhere. I fear a gradual deindustrialisation of the German economy," unquote. Even our mates in the United Kingdom aren't safe. As reported in a brilliant piece in the Australian newspaper by their Europe correspondent Jacqueline Magnay at the weekend, people in Cornwall have been turning off their freezers to the alarm of health officials warning of food poisoning. Jacqueline wrote, "In Newcastle, food charities have been flooded with requests for non-perishable items that don't require turning on the stove." She says that in London at my house, the hot water's been off for the past month, with showering scheduled for immediately after a sweat-inducing run in the park. She said her neighbour has given up toast, and community groups advise people to vacuum the backs of their fridges to ensure they're working as efficiently as possible and to shower every second day. She said a pre-panic mode has struck households across Britain as the cost of living crisis approaches uncharted territory, unquote. And these dopey Teals are saying we must keep up with the pace set by the Europeans. When will they do some homework? According to the Global Energy Monitor, China currently operates 1,082 coal-fired power plants, with 92 under construction and 135 more in the pipeline. India is operating 281 coal-fired power plants, with 30 under construction and 27 in the pipeline. Russia has 85 coal-fired power stations, with 1 under construction and 4 in the pipeline. And yet Australia, a country with unparalleled deposits of high energy, low emissions thermal coal, can't build 1 new coal-fired power plant. Worse than that, Labor and the Greens want every coal-fired power plant closed tomorrow. How often have I said we are embarking on a national economic suicide note? And here I've given you tonight is the proof.